What is an inner circle?
Moving forward with the Decker team. Moving forward together with the Decker team.
Welcome to another episode of Life's Inside Track. I'm Yetta Decker.
I'm Ken Decker.
And we're excited because we have access to tips, tools, techniques, thoughts, and even tips that we all need. We all deserve, you, I, everyone, so we can turn our house into home, our families thrive, and we live the best life possible.
You know why else I'm excited?
Why?
Because there's somebody listening to me other than you.
Which is awesome. So do you mean who is in our inner circle?
Yeah, kind of like what is and who is an inner circle.
Perfect. So on this episode, that's what we're going to learn, right? What is an inner circle?
Yeah. How big can you grow? Like, you know how a balloon, you can blow in a balloon. And if you got a big balloon, you can make a pretty big balloon. If you got a little water balloon and you put too much air in it, can't make it as big, right?
Right.
So an inner circle, how big can you blow up your inner circle before it bursts?
Right?
Before
it bursts. Yeah, I'm not sure what the right language is. Before you have an explosion of sound that hurts the ears, right? An inner circle, I would say from my experience, the core people. So inner circle is really the core people that you hang out with the most. Could be family members, could be spouses, could be children, could be friends, or it could be a combination of all of the above. Yes?
That sounds like a lot of combination. But how many? Because if you got a big family, then family's not your inner circle.
Sometimes.
I disagree with you there.
Oh, well, argue all you want.
Like your family's blood, you're kind of stuck with them. Your inner circle, you could actually change your circle.
You could.
And your circle may choose you or not choose you.
Absolutely. And even with family, you might have one or two of your family that are in your inner circle. I don't want to say that they can't be. You could.
You could. But you generally wouldn't include your entire family.
No, I wasn't meaning that. So I'm so sorry I created confusion for you, Ken.
I appreciate your apology. It's accepted.
Okay, excellent. So really what we're talking about is probably 5 to 7 people or couples, depending on how you are connected within your inner circle. If you get to 12, you're probably more than you can manage.
Well, Jesus managed 12.
Okay.
But I'm not on the same page as Jesus. Actually, he managed 11. One of them was...
Okay.
One of them turned on him.
Okay. So it's not really that funny, but I'm glad you think so. So the reality is it's probably the people that you spend 80% or so of your time with. So you can only handle a handful or 2 maybe. We'll say 1 to 2 handfuls. How does that sound?
Well, I like what you say, 5 plus or minus 2.
Yeah, I could.
Because that's 3 to 7. They're like tight. You're tight with those people. Tight. Right?
Absolutely. And when someone you're tight with and is part of your core, that's really what we're saying. It's those core people that you're willing to tell the ugly truth to.
Oh, the ones you can bare your soul to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they got you. They got your back. They're not going to turn on you just because they know the ugly stuff.
Like a paraclete.
Yeah, a paraclete is fantastic because they got your back. Right?
Yes. And you know what else they do?
What?
They typically remind you of who you are, who you be in the world when maybe you're not being all you were called to be.
Right. Like when you forget.
When you forget.
I know that happens
when you
to me
get discouraged
sometimes.
or depressed or down or hurt or sick. They're the people that are there for you. Right. They're the people that will move into your house to care for you.
If that's what's necessary.
If that's what's needed.
Absolutely. And maybe you've had that experience too, where I know in the past, I wouldn't want someone to take care of me. So I didn't really develop as deep of relationships because it was too vulnerable. It was too risky. It wasn't really, I didn't think at the time, it was worth the cost of admission. And so it does cause us to have to go really, really deep. And we have a tendency to think, I'll help you, but I don't want you to help me. And yet if it's not...
you have a tendency.
Well, okay. We have a tendency as human beings
Yes.
to struggle sometimes with allowing
accepting
people to
help.
help us, even though we may be willing to help them, help
Right.
someone else.
Right.
And then that causes us to avoid intimate relationships, maybe even avoid an inner circle. So the part of the whole inner circle, the core thing is you got to be willing to risk it. You've got to risk yourself and your vulnerability, because if you don't, and like, it's not pretty. Like, if you ever found yourself there where you looked around and you thought, there's nobody I can call today and I need some help. I'm kind of feeling lonely and there's nobody I can call today. That
Yeah.
means you haven't developed. Like, it takes some
Yeah.
development.
It takes development to build an inner circle. And inner circles get built from some nice things like time and vulnerability, as Brene Brown would say. Like, we just picked up her latest book, loving it.
It's called Atlas of the Heart.
Amazing book. And she's saying vulnerability is bravery. There is no bravery without vulnerability. And to have an inner circle takes a little bit of bravery. It's risky. And how you get an inner circle is being vulnerable with those people.
Yeah, it can be daunting. Maybe you have found that too, and you're thinking, I don't want to talk no more about no inner circles. Well, we're going to keep talking about inner circles for a few minutes, because they're also where you get your greatest gifts. Like, when you need any sort of confirmation of who you're even becoming, not only who you are, but even who you're becoming, they sometimes will let you borrow their belief in you when you've lost your own.
You know, the other thing they'll do? They'll actually get mad at you if you don't invite them to help you. Like, if you're moving or something and you don't call them to help you, they will be offended. If you're building a deck and you didn't reach out to say, hey, if you're available, to give a nice little invite, no pressure, but if you're available, I'd love to work on the deck with you and we can chat and do construction or things of that nature. And recently we had a friend that's in our inner circle, very, very tight. And
Very tight.
very tight
Okay.
friend. And she had a health struggle and was in the hospital, like in the emerge room for
10 hours.
10 hours, basically. And we were actually trying to reach her to ask her some
To come
question.
hang
I don't know,
out?
come have dinner or something. And I found out the next day that she was in hospital getting tests for 10 hours. And she didn't reach out to me or you to ask for prayer. And I was upset.
And you told her so, right?
I told her so. She goes, ooh, I won't do that again.
So there is a reciprocal responsibility also when we're talking inner circles, right? So we're going to invite you, if you're thinking, I want to know more about this, I want to explore other aspects of this. We have lots of episodes of Life's Inside Track on the Double Decker YouTube channel, as well as on the Decker Team YouTube channel, that will go even deeper into this topic.
That's for sure. We're grateful that you've chosen to travel along on this journey together with us.
Moving forward with the Decker team. Moving forward together with the Decker team.